Today's NFL free agency grades for all 32 teams is presented by Kinzuri. If you are tired of feeling insecure about your height, here are the ultimate height hacks in their shoes. 15% off. That's up to 45% total because they have potential 30% site-wide sales going on at kinzuri.com/chat. More on them later on in today's show. But first, a request for you guys. We're going to grade all 32 NFL teams free agency so far. I want you to grade your favorite team. So in the comments section, shout out your team and give them the letter grade. A, B, C, D, or F. You can throw in some plus minuses. Go vote for me right now. We're going from first to worst here. I'm a big fan of what the Detroit Lions have done. What a time to be alive, right? I don't love the David Montgomery signing because it's a running back. I don't pay him big money. But Cam Sutton, Emmanuel Mosley, C.J. Gardner-Johnson in the back end, it's all really good. You brought back some nice players in John Kaminsky. Your big loss was Jamal Williams. I think Graham Glass is kind of a one-to-one for Evan Brown. This team clearly got better and got some very good signings. That Chauncey Gardner-Johnson one was awesome. One of my favorite individual signings this year. So Detroit, congrats. You get one of the limited A's because no participation trophies. A little bit tougher grading scale this year. Next up, the Miami Dolphins. And I'm going to include some of the trades. Like the ones that have happened kind of in the free agency period, I will count. So Jalen Ramsey doing the heavy lifting here. David Long, the linebacker, I loved that deal. I will make note, Raheem Mostert, Jeff Wilson are re-signings. We'll group all the additions, whether it's a re-signing, signing, or trade together because that's just easier. They do need tight end help. They've kind of shuffled around their backup linebackers, so I think they'll be okay from that standpoint. You know, Landon Roberts, etc. This is a better team. I like how aggressive they are being. To the surprise of nobody, the Chicago Bears, ultra aggressive. I love the DJ Moore trade. That one in particular is a little bit more draft heavy because it's the number one overall pick, so I'm not going to overcount it. I love the TJ Edwards signing. I like Andrew Billings, nice value guys in Deontay Foreman, Robert Tonyan, DeMarcus Walker, Nate Davis. Edwards was a little bit expensive. Not many major losses. Oh no, David Montgomery. Okay, it's fine. You got cheaper and Deontay Foreman. Don't pay backs big money. Very much a fan of what the Bears have done so far. The Seattle Seahawks. That Geno Smith contract is very team-friendly. Great job there by Seattle. I love getting Draymond Jones and Julian Love. Two really good value signings there. Your losses are Shelby Harris. Well, you got better, and he's basically on the same money this year. Rashad Penny is gone. He's never healthy. You need a guard. I think everybody's going to be a center for you. We'll see what happens with Gabe Jackson. But Seattle, maybe not the splashiest moves, but a lot of ones I really like. For the first time since I have been here at Chat Sports, I believe, we have given the Cowboys above a B in free agency. Again, trades count. Brandon Cooks, Stephon Gilmore. They make some cheaper signings. Leighton Vander Esch, Donovan Wilson, etc. They lose Ezekiel Elliott. Some would say addition by subtraction. They were going to move on from Dalton Schultz, Connor McGovern. The Joneses, everyone wants to say, Jerry loves to make a splash. They haven't made a splash in about 10 years when they signed Brandon Carr. They tried to sign Sammy Watkins, by the way. They actually did that this year. A great, and especially relative to their own expectations, a very strong showing this offseason for the Dallas Cowboys. I'm a big fan of what they did in free agency. The Cleveland Browns, you trade for Elijah Moore. I like that one. Fine, bringing back Ethan Posick. Dalvin Thomas, it might have been a little bit expensive. That's fine. I love the Juan Thornhill pickup. I'm glad to bring back Anthony Walker. Jadeveon Clowney was not that great. The other big losses, I don't know, Greedy Williams. Browns freed up some cap space by restructuring Deshaun like they should. They filled some of their key needs, which is good because they don't have that much draft capital. Thornhill has been one of my guys for a long time. Good job by Cleveland. And the other Ohio team, the Cincinnati Bengals, the big splash of Orlando Brown. Now, you got Nick Scott in. You're going to promote Daxton Hill. We'll see if that Orlando Brown contract works out perfectly. Tight end is the big question mark right now. Running back also kind of is. You know, Joe Mixon is there for the time being. I don't think Cody Ford's that great of a football player. I was surprised they paid Jermaine Pratt. If you get a B+ every single offseason, you should be pretty happy. with what you've been able to accomplish in free agency. So not that many Bs. If you get a C, you're probably okay too. We'll break down some Cs here, beginning with Kinsuri. Today's show is presented by Kinsuri. If you're tired of feeling insecure about your height, they make shoes that can add up to 2.8 inches to your height discreetly. Women get heels, makeup, and push-up bras. Why can't men get a confidence boost too? Because, we're all the same height lying down if you know what I mean. Kinsuri shoes are not only height boosting, but also stylish and comfortable. They're not grandpa's Velcro shoes, but fashionable shoes that can receive compliments even without the height increase. The height insoles are integrated into the shoes, making it the ultimate height hack. For a limited time, Kinsuri is offering all of our viewers an exclusive discount of 15% on top of their up to 30% site-wide discount. Use code CHAT, C-H-A-T, at kinsuri.com/chat. Don't wait any longer. Upgrade your shoe game and confidence now at CONZURI.com/chat. If you want to get high, put on a pair of Kinsuris. 2.8 inches by itself, not what anyone is looking for. An additional 2.8 inches, it's a different conversation. Links in the comment section and the description of today's show. All right, some actual more B pluses, but I wanted to do the C thing, which I thought was kind of funny. Denver Broncos. They were surprisingly aggressive. I think there are some overpays mixed in here for a couple of these players, but you got better, and you might as well try to win games right now with Sean Payton, Russell Wilson, and or maybe move on from Russ after another year or two, but whatever. Zach Allen, Ben Powers, Mike McGlinchey, a trench player focus. Alex Singleton re-signed. Samaje Perine is the third down back. And they did lose Draymond Jones. That's a 1-to-1 for Allen, but nobody else really that much of note. The Atlanta Falcons. Jesse Bates is a Falcon. I was very conflicted on some of the deals they've made. I'm fine to bring back Chris Lindstrom. I don't mind the Jonnu Smith trade. You didn't lose anybody, so, Isaiah Oliver, I guess, but whatever. Caleb McGarry got a pretty team-friendly deal to return. David Onamada, Caden Ellis, those were weird, though. You paid some okay Saints players a bunch of big money. I actually like the Jesse Bates signing. Not everyone does, so I wasn't sold on Atlanta, but I am going to give them a B+, because you didn't lose anyone. That should matter, too. The Giants, a B. Honestly, it would have been an A. I don't like the Daniel Jones contract. I love trading for Darren Waller, a perfect aggressive move there. Bobby O is going to be a big impact piece for them at linebacker. Paris Campbell, Darius Slayton, all good moves. You do miss Julian Love to an extent, but it's a B only because I don't love the Daniel Jones move. If you would just maybe franchise tag DJ, it probably would have been an A. That one scares me. And when we look back 5 years from now, it'll really all be based on what Daniel Jones ends up doing. The New England Patriots next up here. Some really good re-signings. Jonathan Jones comes back on a pretty cheap deal. I like that move a lot. The Juju deal looked better once we got the actual numbers. Mike Gesicki is better than Jonnu Smith, I think. Jabril Peppers on a pretty cheap deal. Myers, Juju kind of 1-to-1. I'm not going to miss Damian Harris that much. Patriots did a solid job in free agency. So do the Saints. Don't let anyone tell you you can't create cap space. The Saints do it every single year. A little high on the Jamal Williams contract. Derek Carr makes them a contender in the NFC South because that division is terrible. And you lost Caden Ellis, Marcus Davenport, sure, but they got overpaid, I think. So you're a bit limited in what you can actually do, but it's a solid offseason there for the New Orleans Saints, or at least free agency / trade acquisition there. The Niners, this is basically, hey, we got Javon Hargrave. Yeah, they added Cleveland Ferrell, Isaiah Oliver. They brought back Jake Brindell. It's a good pickup there. I'm not worried about losing Jimmy Garoppolo, but Mike McGlinchey, Charles Omenihu, Azeez Al-Shaair, Emmanuel Mosley, Samson Ebukam, Jimmy Ward. That's a lot of good defensive players. Daniel Brunskill, too. I love the Javon Hargrave move. That is carrying this list, but it is brought down by all the losses in free agency. Who do you think is the biggest free agency winner so far? You can pick your favorite team if you want to, but sound off for me in the comment section. The Steelers, I'm going to miss Cam Sutton, but hey, Patrick Peterson's a pretty good football player. I like Cole Holcomb and Landon Roberts as a better version of Jack and Devin Bush. Those guys actually didn't play that well. Miles Jack, I should say. Excuse me. Isaac Seumalo could be a nice fit for the Steelers on the offensive line. Solid, good, but not great. Just above average for me is what the B and the B minuses are. So it's a fair grade, I believe. Of course, I believe that in the end for the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Buffalo Bills, not nearly as aggressive as recent years. They're going to miss Tremaine Edmonds. That one hurts. I didn't love the Connor McGovern deal. I actually like the Damian Harris pickup. I think he's just good, if not better, than Devin Singletary. And I love retaining Jordan Poyer. But the Edmonds loss and really not getting that much better beyond re-signing their own guys, which it still counts a little bit, is why the Bills only end up with a C+ as opposed to maybe getting the full-on B grade. And we've had you covered all free agency long. News, trackers, top free agents left. And we're going to keep having you guys covered with everything going on around the NFL. So make sure you guys are subscribed. YouTube.com/ChatSportsTV. I really regret the loss of DJ Moore for Carolina. I think that one really hurts. I think they overpaid Adam Thielen, by the way. But everything else, kind of intrigued by. Hayden Hurst is a decent tight end for you. They didn't lose really anything else. Miles Sanders, I think, is a nice piece. It's a fairly team-friendly deal to replace Deonta Foreman. I love the fit of Von Bell. Shy Tuttle's not that bad. I'm glad to bring back Bradley Bozeman. So I really hate losing DJ Moore. I might have preferred giving up another future first as opposed to DJ Moore because he's an awesome receiver. Still got to figure out that need. So it's just above average for me in Carolina. Two moves I love by the Commanders. Daron Payne, Andrew Wiley. Right tackle, DT, re-signing Payne, keep getting an offensive lineman. Everything else, I'm fairly lukewarm at best on. Cole Holcomb's gone, but they have some other linebackers in there. They also brought back David Mayo, by the way. Taylor Heineke's not that much of a loss. Jacoby Brissett. It would have been nice, though, to see the Commanders be more aggressive at quarterback because Brissett, Sam Howell, okay, we'll see how that ends up going there. Maybe there's the Commanders are about to sell, and they're not going to spend too much money in free agency going on there. All right, the Los Angeles Chargers. And last year, super aggressive. This year, not as much. I really like the Eric Kendricks pickup. Trey Pipkins was whatever, and Kendricks kind of replaces Drew Tranquill / Kyle Van Noy. Nasir Adderley retires, so you get one linebacker to replace two. That's even. That just says average, right? Like, you didn't really get that much better. You didn't really get that much worse. That's a C grade for me all the way through. It's not a bad thing necessarily because they spent so much last offseason. That's why they were big winners, but, just an okay free agency for L.A. What's the favorite, your favorite free agent signing made so far? What move did you love the most so far? Any player / team, let me know what the best move made so far is. The Minnesota Vikings. I like the Byron Murphy deal. Fine to bring back Garrett Bradbury because the center market was not very good. Josh Oliver's an overpay. Davenport was an overpay. You had to move on from Thielen. I'm fine dumping Patrick Peterson. Kendricks wasn't going to be a long-term piece. You kind of kept Jordan Hicks in the mold there. I think Murphy deal was better than what I thought it was going to be, so that's a win for them. But they got some nice pieces, but they kind of paid a lot for me. The Raiders, I don't know what grade to give them. A C? An M for McDaniels? Like, the Raiders always like shuffling their roster significantly. They get some more Patriot boys. Jacoby Myers, Jimmy Garoppolo. They add Myers, trade away Darren Waller. They lateral move at quarterback. Carr, Garoppolo, maybe a little bit worse. He fits the offense. Two tight ends, Austin Hooper, O.J. Howard replace Waller. They add Myers. It's just, it's McDaniels. That's what it is. So if you like that, there you go. If you don't, well, I know many a Raider fan who agrees. The Chiefs, you paid a lot of money for Jawan Taylor to move from right tackle to left tackle. I actually really like the three defensive pickups. Mike Edwards to replace Juan Thornhill, cheaper option, even though I love Thornhill. Amenahue to replace Frank Clark, probably more consistent in the regular season. Drew Tranquill's a nice pickup as well. You do lose Orlando Brown. You were going to lose some receivers. That's fine. Hardman, Juju, etc. You're gambling a lot on a big deal for Jawan Taylor, who was a right tackle. That's the question mark. The Houston Texans. I know Texans fans are probably going to Matt, that's fine. They did make some nice moves. Jimmy Ward, you add some playmakers for your quarterback to an extent in Dalton Schultz, Robert Woods. You did lose your best playmaker in Brandon Cooks, a good defensive end in Oka Ronquo. Not many losses there. But the Texans love signing veterans to sign vets. Why are you signing another vet linebacker in Denzel Perryman? Why are you signing Mike Boone and Noah Brown and even maybe a Sheldon Rankins? Why? Why are you adding veterans at the back of your roster? You are rebuilding. You need to get younger, not older. You're going to win more games next year. Good job, Houston. That's a positive step. But I don't know if you're taking the best team-building approach long-term. The Jets, I almost gave it an I for incomplete. It kind of all rides on the Aaron Rodgers trade, right? Because they don't get Rodgers, it's a failure. It's a disaster, right? Isn't it? You lose Elijah Moore. You bring in Alan Lazard, Mecole Hardman. Not many other major losses. Berrios is on his way out. He's in Miami now. Chuck Clark comes in. It all rides on Rodgers. And I'm not going to count Rodgers as part of this yet. That's unfair. We don't know what was given up. We don't know when that deal will be made official. At some point, I think it will be. That'll boost their grade. But for now, just a C. Tennessee, C-. I'm not really sure what they're going for. I think it's a bit of a retooling, maybe is the right word for it. They had to cut some fat. Bud Dupree, Taylor Lewan probably won't be back. Andre Dillard, Arden Key, Azeez Al-Shaair, Shummer. I like all those moves, but it's just kind of like a little bit like Houston. Kind of not the overhaul maybe you want to have. So Tennessee's in a weird spot, and they still have a bunch of needs they have not yet had a chance to fill. Who is the biggest loser so far in free agency? Sound off for me in the comment section. Pros for Tampa. I love getting back Jamel Dean and Levante David. Cons. Mike Edwards, Donovan Smith, Cameron Brate, Sean Murphy, Bunting leave. And your big outside pickup is Baker Mayfield? That's not great. We should probably count Tom Brady. It also kind of feels like cheating to an extent. So I won't go full negative on the Bucs and give them just a C-. Philadelphia, I do not grade on a curve. There's no way you can actually give Philadelphia a top-end grade. Do I like a lot of their moves? Absolutely. Rashad Penny's got great upside. Greedy Williams is a fascinating addition. You keep Brandon Graham, Kelsey, Bradbury, Slay, Fletcher Cox, all really good things. You also lost a bunch of starters. Miles Sanders, Javon Hargrave, TJ Edwards, Kazir White, Isaac Suimalo, Marcus Epps, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. It's a lot of snaps and wins of replacement that you have lost. And that's okay. We knew this was the plan. They have 2 first-round picks. They'll crush the draft. The offseason will be fine. But specifically for free agency, C-. The Colts, I'll go quicker here to not be too mean to some teams. You paid a kicker record-setting money, added 1 player of note in Samson Ebukam. That's not that great of an upgrade. So Indy, I will never, you pay a kicker $20 million it was overall, D+. Arizona, a D. I actually like the Kaiser White pickup, but that's kind of all they've done. Lost some good players on defense. Let's call this what this is. It is a reloading time for Arizona, so a D grade is understandable. Now, Jacksonville made some moves on Wednesday, and they added some players at long last. Dearness Johnson, Michael Dogby, that does not move the needle. Their big splash was last offseason. It's a quiet free agency. Should be a low grade. The Green Bay Packers, a D-. Javarius Moore, they didn't get better. Then they've lost 2 key pieces on offense, some depth pieces on defense, and added a backup safety. It's all going to be on the draft whenever you trade Aaron Rodgers. The Ravens, one of a handful of teams, the only team to not add a player outside as of filming, have lost Ben Powers, Josh Oliver. They haven't done anything. And then the Ravens don't. Normally, they're a draft and develop team, which is fine. We're talking about free agency. It's a low grade. And the Rams, it's an F. I don't give Fs out very often, but you got a backup tight end and a 3rd-round pick for Jalen Ramsey. Brought back Coleman Shelton. You cut a starting edge, a starting linebacker, and you lost a starting safety in free agency. So, he's not a starting quarterback. Nice try, Sam, a backup quarterback. So, the Rams have not gotten a lick better. That's an F.